That day, my father passed away. I was searching for something. I didn't care about my father. He was absent. He was a dirty old man, never cared about his family. Eventually, I found something. I really hate this place. I really hate it. I never had an enjoyable moment with my family. I hate staying here. All I want is my money. Finally, mailbox. He said there was a piece of paper for me here. What I read will irremediably change my life. It was just a certificate of praise to my father. But what was amazing was not the content. I read the date, 92. How was it possible? My father was older than any man on the face of the earth. Next to the letter was a small videotape. My head was crowded. I needed to know the truth. How did my father get those years? Or maybe it was a coincidence, a relative. I decided to grab a bar near to the door and then tried to move the wooden planks that blocked the entrance. Closed hair, musty smell, death. I tried to pay attention to where I was walking. I was afraid of hurting myself by breaking a glass object or tripping over a crack. The strange thing was the complete absence of photograph and paintings. The mark remained there, as if pictures that had been attacked for a long time had been made detached in haste. I finally found a saloon. A sofa, a gaudy Persian giant carpet, a window with a dim light, and a television with an old tape recorder. I walked over to the TV, and as I expected, it didn't work. Nothing strange. It was normal that there was no power. The house seemed abandoned for at least a few years, but maybe there was an old generator somewhere. After searching the whole house, I found myself in front of a staircase that led to a basement. Hell no. Here it was going to end badly. I turned back. But oh, my head. What's happened? Had I fallen? The wooden floor had given way and I had fallen down onto what looked like a work table. I didn't want to look outside the lighted table anyway. It is normal to be afraid of the dark. I stood there for a few minutes until I found the strength to get up and head straight for the stairs. Incredible. Next to the start of the stairs illuminated by the light, The dusty generator. The light was back. I immediately went to the television and threw it on, while the generator went crazy under there. I probably had little time. I looked for AV and then put the tape inside. In the video, what looked like a portal in the living room of that house had been opened. What was that? I tried to go out, but the door... I tried to remember the main door of that rotten house, but I couldn't find it. What incarnation? I searched wall from wall, but I couldn't find it. Disappeared in thin air. How? All of a sudden, as I was walking, the walls began to become more marble, as if they were part of an ancient castle. I turned, and instead of the living room, there was a corridor. I was stunned. I felt like throwing up. What the hell? I tried to force myself and keep walking until at the end of the tunnel there was an altar made entirely of gold. In the center of it, an inscription. No one can hear you. I closed my eyes, trying not to think about it. It was a bad dream. Had to be. But then I heard a metallic voice whispering in my ear. No one can hear you. I sank into a distressing tunnel. I fell and kept falling until I reached the ground. Grass. Fresh. I lay there for a few minutes. My father was doing something that was driving him crazy. I remember the last time I saw him. He had become stooped, with a sunken and almost godlike gait. Yet, he was such a gloomy man. I got up and tried to take a walk. There was the moon. Where was I? I tried to scream, tried to find someone. I walked for hours and hours. I was tired. I was angry. I walked for what seemed like an eternity. At one point, I grabbed my pocket watch and activated the stopwatch. I kept walking until I found a firelight. Finally, light. Heat, movement. No. The fire was still. It didn't move. The flames were still. At that point, I looked at my watch. It had been 2 weeks since I had operated it. I fell to the ground in tears. I couldn't help myself anymore. It didn't make sense. But I saw something near the sheet of paper. I opened it. The experiment allowed the human to go back about 1,000 years at a time. However, after having gone through various eras and suffering unspeakable things, I understood that what is created is nothing more than a projection of the real world per individual member. I tried to light a fire. After a few minutes, it stopped. The subject may suffer from cold, hunger, or thirst, but will never die. Only electronic objects seem to work, albeit in a different way. No one can hear me. I'm scared. Dr. Smith. At that moment, I found myself catapulted into what seemed to be empty and cold space. I could not breathe. My lungs burned. But I did not die. It was in those moments that I realized, with all those selected times, I had been sent to a time when the earth was not yet born. My suffering seemed in fact eternal. I wandered for several thousand of years. I went through many eras, enduring an ever-increasing hunger and thirst, but above all, a desire to continue to exist, despite wanting to die, until at some point, I let myself go. I closed my mind and accepted the oblivion in my heart. You who are reading, stop while there is time. Nobody can help you. No one can hear you.